variety to choose from just to make a nice design for your home. Okay, all right, so we're gonna start off with our hanging vessel. Now I'm gonna try and do this as best I can, holding it and working with it, but at some point I may bring up the box so that my hands are a little bit more free. So we'll see how this goes. I might also flip the camera down to show what we're working with if we need to do that too. So we're not going to, if you're doing terrariums at home and you have a really sturdy vessel, you can put a few rocks down first for drainage. But like I said, this one is really light glass, so we're not gonna bother with that. But we are gonna put a handful of dirt in the bottom of the bowl, just to help build up our arrangement a little bit, okay? Okay. So yeah, I would say a handful. This is how I bake. Maybe it would be more like 3/4 of a cup if you're doing like baking ingredients, but just enough so that your plants have some place to call home until we get them kind of sorted. Now the succulents don't have a very advanced root system, so you actually don't need, was that Tennille? She's got one of our original terrarium. Okay, well you're gonna have to text me a picture of how it looks these days. I wanna see an update on that one. We could, maybe a few, yeah. One of these days, I'm gonna get somebody to join my workshop. Maybe somebody that wants to do one along with me at home, or show me a little bit of what I don't know, Tennille, if you're tech savvy, if you can request to join and show us yours. We could try and split the screen. I don't know, I've never done that yet. Well, maybe. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to take some of my bark and I'm going to put it in the back of my terrarium. I'm kind of working at it from a slant right now. I'm going to take 2 little pieces. Generally, my rule of thumb when I'm decorating my terrariums, I do it after I'm finished. But just because it's going to get a little bit hard to get your hand in there, you don't want to bang the plants up too much. They actually don't really love the finger oils and they can be a little bit fragile, so you have to be careful. But if you slant it a little bit and put some of that bark back there first, then you're not trying to reach back in there, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead, for the hanging ones, I try and do one that's got a little bit of a height to it. So I'm going to put that there, and I'm slightly, I forgot, actually take that out, sorry. Forgot my carbon, so. My arm's already sore. I'm getting my workout here today. I hope everyone's getting some good workouts in at home. I just started a 21-day challenge with the community gym. I'm loving it. Shout out to community gym. And trying to do some at-home workouts. But here, this one's good for my arm. Okay, so a little bit of that carbon or charcoal down first. That's going to help with those moisture levels. And then I've got my towel. And if you ever lose a leaf, looks like I lost one, you can just leave it right in there. It should start growing. Fingers crossed. Okay, so I've got my tall one in the back. And then I'm going to put my wider one right here in the front. Okay. Now I'm kind of slanting them both so that they're staying in the spots that I want them to stay in before I start adding some soil. Other thing that I sometimes do, I've been holding this one so it hasn't really affected it, but if you put it in the box, you'll notice that the rope can slide down a little bit. So you can use one of your chopsticks and break it, and then you put through the rope there. So So that's going to help keep that knot up a little bit if you ever want to put it in your box when you're starting to add some things, okay? Okay, let's see if this is going to work. If you can still see me, okay. All right, and so now we need to add a little bit more soil, basically just to keep them in place. You can really use a variety of gems, marbles, rocks, but I find the soil the most beginner friendly for taking care of them, okay? So what you want to do is then grab about a half a cup of soil and put on one side of your plants, and then another half cup for the other side of your plants. Okay, I'll lift this up so I can show you while I do a bit more. When we're doing the top opening ones, it really is tricky to get the soil in there without your plants getting buried. But when it's a side opening one, it is a little bit easier, but you do have to be a little careful. See, sometimes I get my chopsticks out. Just don't want to get them too banged around. Okay, this guy. Okay, and then I'm basically just adding some soil, and you can also kind of add it at the front, and then watch out for your beer. Well, you're putting the dirt in. That's the worst. Oh, beer in your cocktail. And then if you're having a hard time getting it around your plants, you can use your chopsticks to kind of maneuver it. So I'm just going to flip it around. Hope you guys can see okay. I've got a bit of a glare on there. Okay, I'm going to put a bit more now on this side. So the key is you want them to stay in place. You don't want to bury them. And you want to make sure that they're nice and cozy. Okay, so at some point you can try and lift it more upright and see how it's going. Okay, good, yeah, they're kind of staying where I want them to. I love these containers, they're so cute. They look a little bigger in person, I think, too. It was a little hard to tell from the photo, I think. Okay, so you can kind of move some things around. Alrighty, so it's starting to find their place. I think it's working. Shoot me a message too, you guys, if anybody's experimented with succulent containers that are a little unusual. Getting full sun, you could go every 2 weeks, and a very